Jordan! I tell you, he's just simply amazing. He does whatever he has to do to beat you.
We cannot stop him. I never said we had to stop him.
Well,
we can't stop him.
Focus on
Nobody
him.
can stop him.
Michael had now reached the pinnacle of his career.
For the third year, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls have climbed the Mount Olympus of the NBA.
Solidifying his status as the game's greatest player, Jordan had done what Bird and Magic could not: win a third straight title, a feat not achieved since Bill Russell's great Celtics of the 60s.
Congratulations, it's a great accomplishment.
He had seemingly done it all, but Michael's most astounding move was yet to come.
Last night, we began the show with the disappearance of Michael Jordan's father. Tonight, the worst fears have come true. James Jordan was found dead, the victim of an apparent murder.
It was a very difficult moment for me, and somehow I just kept my head high and looked at the good of it, you know, the time that we used to spend and the education that he gave me. And I thought about all the things that he used to tell me, just turn a negative into a positive. And here I was dealing with him in that way. It was tough.
Shaken by the death of his father, who had always been his closest advisor and supporter, his choice had now become clear. And soon, the world would know about it.
When I lose the sense of motivation and the sense of to prove something as a basketball player, it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
It was something that my father and I talked about way before he passed. Me retiring from basketball and then playing baseball. And the final year that we won the championship was like his biggest push to go and do it. No one could present a challenge for me at the time, other than what my father was presenting to me, which was to go and play baseball.
Following his father's advice, Michael would become a minor league baseball player. But more than just a diversion, his new pastime was part of an emotional journey.
I think what baseball did for me was it gave me an opportunity to revisit all those moments that I had with my father. And when I really thought about it, I said, he was here. You know, everything that he's taught me, everything that I accomplished was him. It took me a while to understand that. And once I understood it, I could accept it and deal with it. So it was a therapeutic experience for me. I guess it made me at peace with myself.
But in March of 1995, he would leave baseball and return to Chicago.
Michael Jordan announced today he's coming back to basketball. One guy said the words, "I'm back," and it set the world on fire, just turned it upside down.
I never thought I'd come back to the game of basketball. I never thought I would have that feeling to come back. But what drove me back was I truly loved the game.
Today, Michael Jordan at age 32 tries to accomplish what no one else truly has in team sports history.
After an 18-month absence, Jordan was back, and his return sparked a magical rush.
Here's Jordan. Bulls trail by one. Michael. He is now back.
Jordan had seemingly returned to his role of savior, but in the playoffs, the young Orlando Magic were ready to show him that times had changed.
Here I was in those moments that you take pride in being put in, and yet I let the team down.
Michael and the Bulls would never recover from his struggles in Game 1.
Boy, Michael's missed a lot of close-in shots, and he's tried to take the game on.
As Chicago was eliminated by the Magic, Jordan discovered that his unique ability to lift his team to victory was only a memory. And now, he was left to wonder whether he would ever recapture his former throne.
I was very demoralized, I think, and I was really looking in the mirror the whole time. I had doubts that maybe I can't play the same type of game that I used to play because I wasn't able to do it on call. So in sitting in that locker room and very disappointed, I made a promise to myself that come next year, I'm gonna be ready for this game.
Rededicating himself to the game, Jordan attacked his workouts with a vengeance, and he spent the summer honing his talent like never before.
I felt compelled each and every day when I got up to go out and somehow tune up and get back to where I was. So I was that much more motivated to prove to the world that don't write me off yet.
As he joined his teammates for the '96 season, Michael was embarking not just on a personal quest, but also on an historic mission.
I was being judged on that from the public, from the media, because of my age and because of my being away from the game for 2 years almost. And the only way that I could prove them wrong was to win a championship, from start to finish.
And from the beginning, he was ready to prove his point.
Michael looking to make a move here. Clear out from Longley and picks up with authority.
Leading the Bulls to an astounding 72 wins, Jordan stamped them as one of the greatest teams ever, and incredibly, raised his own stature even higher.
He was up at the very top, the most popular athlete in the world for 8, 9, 10 years. He leaves the game and comes back stronger than ever. I don't think anyone in the history of sport has ever pulled off something like that, and the guy, and he did it again somehow.
In the playoffs, Michael would come full circle. Again facing Orlando, he would seize the opportunity for redemption.
Michael took it away. He's got Scotty with him. Pip right back to Michael for the jam.
Erasing the memory of last year's defeat, the Bulls swept the Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals. Jordan was now on the verge of completing his quest.
The Bulls once again make it to the NBA Finals.
And facing the Seattle Supersonics on the NBA's ultimate stage, he would remove any remaining doubts that he was the Michael Jordan of old. And as he led Chicago to victory over Seattle, Michael's comeback was now complete.
And for the 4th time in 6 years, Jordan rules. After a 2-year absence, the Chicago Bulls have regained the NBA throne.
It marked the culmination of a journey that had begun with his retirement. Fittingly and symbolically, it had ended on Father's Day.
I think it was a signal to some degree that he was there with me. It was certain emotions that I couldn't really control, knowing that the success of it had something to do with him, and that meant a lot to me.
Michael, I know that the first one was sweet, but how much sweeter was this one?
Well, I can't even put it in words. My father said what it means to me. I know he's watching. This is for Daddy.